Well, punk is dead, or at least it was supposed to be decades ago, but you wouldn't know it from the big splashy exhibition on fashion, Punk, opening in New York City this week.
Yeah, and from the enduring fascination punk holds for generations of people. Now, Hannah Asmakopoulos met up with two young actors who are staging one of the most famous stories to come out of the punk era, the story of Sid and Nancy.
Patrick Rogers is stepping into the last months of the life of Sid Vicious, bassist for the Sex Pistols.
There's something of a legend that was built around these particular people. Like, if you read any of the biographies about written by the people who actually knew them, they're very, very human. Like, there's something that I think everybody can connect with, as opposed to, like, Sid Vicious, the crazy guy who couldn't play bass and went around beating everybody up.
We don't need that swindler or anybody else.
And yet it's his tragic, drug-fueled, out-of-control relationship with Nancy that gets most of the attention. In fact, it was after seeing the movie, Sid and Nancy, that Kathleen Aubert thought there was good material for a play. They first staged Vicious Circles at last year's Montreal Fringe Festival.
We were walking around in costume trying to promote it, and we get called out on the streets. Oh my God, it's Sid Vicious, and oh no, it's Nancy, run!
We don't need that swindler.
Everything you read about Nancy, nobody could stand her. She had a really annoying voice and annoying personality, and she like a handful of people liked her. Actually, Sid did, and that's about it.
The story of Sid and Nancy played out well before these two were born, and yet they feel the spirit of punk is still relevant today.
There's something about protest in punk. It was more about, like, we have to cry out, like, what's wrong with this world. And we had an example last spring with the students, like, all over the streets.
They're hoping to perform the play in New York City one day, but for now, Vicious Circles is at Mainline Theatre through next weekend. Hannah Asmakopoulos, CBC News, Montreal.
And still to come, do your